today, LA Gray.
Here we are again. Another shitty film. Another terrible movie. Another day gonna be ruined. Mine already has been. You might as well join me for the ride. Going back to the year 1975 again. Grab another exploitation flick. Keep thinking they're gonna turn out well. Keep getting fucked. This time I will give the director had a pair. He did show a little violence. Showed a little nudity. Kinda got the job done. But somehow in this one, he managed to jam so much into this movie. Made it so big. And yet, it's one of the most painfully boring things I have ever seen. It's horrible. It's desperately boring, even. Well, this is Black Streetfighter. You ready to go on down to Harlem and see how this one goes? Let's rock on. We start with our hero doing the most exciting things you can imagine. Leaving his house, going to find a job, and visiting a barbershop. How is it I'm not filled with a sense of excitement and action right from the start?
Here we go.
What? Who said that?
I'm so tired of hearing your droning and whining about the bad shit you watch and read. Why can't you people just live with what you have and shut up?
Huh. What the fuck? How long have you been there?
Just long enough to know you're gonna start whining about another movie.
Well, it's just so terrible. This piece of shit demands to be ripped a new one.
Fine, but why even watch it? Just leave it alone.
Really?
Fine, you humans do what you want anyways. What do I care?
Well, as I was saying, after our hero enjoys a bit of the excitement, all the excitement a barbershop has to offer, he goes to meet the plot. Leroy Fisk, our proud hero, meets with our first crime leader and villain, Mr. Logan. For the first half of the movie, Mr. Logan will be the top dog and villain who ruins Leroy's life. Of course, he has flunkies working for him, like Avon here. Listen to this badass exchange between Avon and Leroy.
He's a tough nigga. I done had it with your shit. I'll show you something, nigga. I'll show you what a man like me will do for a nigga like you, sucker.
Spade, punch, monkey, jigaboo. I say next time you gonna call a dark hair nigga, call that coon a jungle bunny instead.
Logan gives Leroy a tryout against a big monster named Moose. The fight is short, poorly cut, and very uninteresting. Leroy loses this one, but seeing as the whole point was to test him, Logan hires him anyway, and then we cut to Leroy calling his wife and trying to tell her that he has a job.
I don't want to hear it.
She doesn't believe him.
You haven't been home in 2 days?
And they bicker.
I don't want to hear it. You haven't been home for 2 days, Lucius haven't seen you? You're hanging around with those goo-hoodlums?
Baby, I'm trying to tell you.
I can't take that.
Joy, bickering, just what I like to see in my action flicks. Of course, after that's over, he has a mental breakdown. At least some kind of audio hallucinations.
I got to talk to you.
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to talk about it right now.
Baby, I got some money.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't believe it. I don't believe nothing.
Oh, baby. Listen, every time I got something to tell you, baby.
He goes to see Flo for talk, but they really don't add anything to the plot aside from a character. Wait, was that a cut? So now we're in a laundromat? They're hitting all the exciting locations. Wow! Now it's time for a training montage. This flick must have ADHD.
What are you doing? Don't stop. That's the wrong government. Stop.
Well, I guess Ice Cube was right.
I don't know if they fags or what. Search a nigga down and grabbing his nuts.
Yep. Well, there's not much else to say. Next we go to Leroy's first fight. I'll go ahead and show you this fight in its total and let that speak for itself. We see this fat guy who is in the laundromat, unable to pay his debt, and so the mob guys have him hit. They obviously need to learn how to better collect a debt. Dead men pay nothing. Leroy gets paid, spends some time with his family before he goes and plays pool. Here we're introduced to the crooked cop for the flick.
My mama taught me never to speak to strangers.
Strangers? My name's Heineken.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Well, Leroy has his next fight. Of course, he wins it. But first, for the ladies, we cut to a shopping scene. After the shopping, we cut to sex. From the sex, we cut to pool. God damn, this flick has ADHD.
You humans all have ADHD. You run around fucking about and never get anything done.
What? Like you get so much done in this world?
Only what's important. You don't see me wasting time watching shit like this.
Touché. Leroy pays off Heineken for the first time. Now he's all pissed off that he has to pay the man. So Leroy goes to Logan to see if he can take care of the cop. Of course, Logan and Heineken are working together, so nothing is going to happen. Leroy can't decide whether he's street smart or naive in this piece of shit. Leroy explains his past to another side character made to die. We really don't care, and neither does the flick. Nobody wants him or ever has, and all he wants is to not kiss Whitey's ass.
Aren't you Whitey?
Shut up! Loudmouth cat. Well, Fletch tells Leroy that he got Heineken's little black book of payoffs somehow. He gives it to Leroy for blackmail purposes. So, Leroy calls Heineken and sets up a meeting. Wait, why did he have Heineken's number again? Fletch is dead, and Leroy wants Heineken to take care of it. Leroy announces to Heineken that he wants out of the fight game already.
No, doctors just can't hold down a job, even outside the law. Fortunately, the white man knows better and won't let him quit.
Logan won't let Leroy out, so that's the end of it, right? No! They announce another fight. Leroy says it's his last and it'll cost more. Leroy contracts to fight Moose. The money he makes here will let him buy a club from a Wilson that we've never heard about before this moment. Of course, we now find out that Logan has a big boss, and he's not happy with him at all. And the big boss has bet a ton of money against Leroy. Of course, Leroy bets all he has and all he'll make on himself. How do you think this'll turn out? So Leroy takes the money and takes off. Logan is having trouble paying off his boss, Mr. Ingo, so we have a club scene and a tone shift to a revenge flick. It's like they had too many ideas for any one movie. Or maybe they didn't have enough ideas for any movie without jamming it all together into one. Either way, during this amazingly exciting club scene, we're introduced to the motivation for the second half of the film. First, we find out that Leroy has a brother-in-law who just got out of prison for some crime he surely didn't commit. Don't get too attached to him, as just seconds later, he and Fisk's wife are blown up with a car bomb meant for Leroy. It's so great when characters walk onto a flick just to die when we know they exist.
Oh, so now they want to add a motivation to the movie you've been bitching about that has no motivation, and you complain about that. Will anything make you happy?
Do you want me to have you neutered? I can legally, you know.
You already did. Thanks for that, by the way. I'll make sure to leave you something special in your shoe.
Super. Well, Logan and his men all sit around laughing and joking about how they killed Leroy, till Heineken comes in to tell them all what they would have known had they just read the script. Leroy isn't dead, and he's pissed. Logan's men go after Leroy's friends and try to get info out of them, but they're too inept to get anything done, so we cut to Leroy going to Flo's. Well, that was quick, so now we meet another new character, Boom Boom. We see Leroy chat with him. What the fuck happened to this scene? Now it's all fish-eyed and dirty. Leroy almost looks like he could beat information out of a man in this scene. Now Avon's showing up to beat Boom Boom some more. And now that's over, and we'll never see a scene like that in this film. So, Leroy is now in a bar questioning a whore? Now wait, whoa. We're just supposed to let a scene like that go by and never talk about it again? Okay. So he questions the whore about Earl, another of Logan's men, while she holds out until he gives her a titty twister. She must not have many S&M clients. Leroy finds Earl, beats him, and throws him in the back of a car. The pace of this thing's gone into overdrive and it's still fucking boring. I can't get my footing, and I'm falling asleep! Leroy takes Earl to a drive-in theater. They chat a bit, and Leroy covers the inside of the car and Earl with gas before putting the speaker on the window. This somehow ignites the gas in one of the weakest explosions ever. Not that we ever see how it worked. Well, one of Logan's men is dead, and this thing is drawing to a close. Hallelujah. Heineken sends a message to Leroy saying he'll sell out Logan to save his own neck. Leroy goes to Boom Boom to get some more information. He gives Boom Boom his phone number so that he can contact him. Of course, Boom Boom would never give this to Logan or anyone else.
No, I wouldn't lie to you, man. Let's hear it. I wouldn't lie. Where is the car, baby? He's with some ding chick, man. I got a number in my wallet, man.
Of course, Leroy's just that kind of an idiot, and Boom Boom dies. Heineken gets the address for the number and goes to visit Flo. He decides to beat and rape her. I'm getting flashbacks of Zalman King. Of course, Leroy comes in and saves her. He takes Heineken to a meatpacking plant, ties, and hangs him on a hook by his own belt. Heineken begs, and Leroy leaves him there over the weekend with the black book that came to nothing. Heineken. Best served chilled. That's refreshing. Avon shows up at Ingo's, revealing that Logan is dead. Ingo has Avon killed, of course. The whole ending feels like a free fall out of a plane at 30,000 feet. Ingo has a message sent to Leroy in the same way that Heineken did. You know, I wonder how well the Leroy Fisk message service pays. Well, Leroy visits Ingo, and he's told that he now has Logan's old job, and Ingo's his partner. Leroy finds out who Ingo had killed and realizes that Ingo has been the top man the whole time. They tussle for 3 seconds, till Ingo gets shot. Having achieved his goal, Leroy has another breakdown to celebrate.
When I thought I had got there, I thought Leroy Fisk was going to beat somebody. Beat somebody. Beat somebody. Beat somebody.
Well, another one down. Thousands more to go. And if I gotta sit through them, you gotta sit through them. Here we go again. More films, more hatred, and I've got to sit through it all. And now, I've got a cat who wants to be a smartass to make me deal with it all. Well, at least if I've got anything, I know that I've got Heineken, the refreshing beer for Whitey. Doesn't take a chunk out of my money.